The Burning Crusade, the first expansion of World of Warcraft, was going to take us to another world, with tons of new features to get excited about. But I mean, hey, those of us who are already playing the game are excited. How can you get us more?
You are not prepared!
Okay, that'll do it. So come with us today as we break down the cinematic masterpiece that is The Burning Crusade. I am the Faceless One, and let's get started.
Imprisoned for 10,000 years. Banished from my own homeland.
Off to a great start. This opening dialogue from Illidan is also sort of a throwback to the cinematic from Warcraft where he summoned in the Naga forces.
Betrayer. In truth, it was I who was betrayed. And now you dare enter my realm.
Yet again, to kind of an interesting note that the login screen that we've been seeing for several years in classic World of Warcraft is now the focal point of the start of this new adventure. And alright, things are good so far, but what else can you...
You are not prepared.
Then this guy shows up. Okay, so the two new races added to the Burning Crusade were the Blood Elves for the Horde and the Draenei or Draenei for the Alliance. Both were announced before the cinematic release, but what made this so exciting was seeing how cool this new race looked. And keep in mind that the Draenei were designed from the ground up in the Burning Crusade. Unlike other races that existed in the Warcraft games, these versions were designed specifically for this game. Draenei were in the lore beforehand, but they look like... yeah... not that those Draenei aren't in-game anymore, they are just now known as the Broken. But anyway, I'm going to share something personal of another reason why this scene hit so hard. Back in vanilla, I played a Night Elf Rogue, which was fun because elves are cool and such, but what I wanted to really play was a Paladin. Now at the time, only dwarves and humans could be Paladins, and to me, dwarves were meh, and humans were, well, I fail at playing a human in real life, so why would I want to try it again in a fantasy world? Then the announcement of the new Alliance race, the Draenei, came out along with their list of classes they could be. Now the Draenei already look cool and mysterious, a race that is distinctively unique to the Warcraft universe, but alright, they could be warriors, shaman, and... oh yeah. But then the cinematic came out and I was like, look at this guy! Look at how cool he is as a paladin! Look at the armor! Look at that hammer! The shiny blue thing on his head! Man, I want to be that! So I be that. I've been playing a Draenei Holy Paladin since Burning Crusade came out, and I still think they are the coolest. Even modeled my guy after that guy in the cinematic. Now, even though this guy later became part of the lore and was named Marad, but oh well. Now we're just twinsies, I guess. But anyways, back to the cinematic. Here we see the other race that was added to the game, the Blood Elves. We see Silvermoon City, their capital, and Crystal Song Forest in the back. We even see the usage of the Blood Elf race ability, Mana Tap, as she drains the energy from the Mana Worm, a new creature we will be encountering in Burning Crusade. Then we jump right into some cool visuals. The orc hacking and slashing his way through Naga, the troll riding his raptor. We see the Draenei from before kicking butt against his horde foes. We then see an orc taken down by arrows, leading to a blood elf priest using Resurrect on the orc, something we haven't seen in cinematic beauty. Speaking of which... seeing a mage turning a tauren into a sheep with polymorph, another well-known Warcraft ability from the mage, is a kind of humorous moment in this action-packed intro. We also see and hear a well-known menace of Azeroth, the Murlocs, charge in and get roasted by a Warlock using its Hellfire spell. Also cool to know that the armor being worn by the Warlock is an actual in-game armor set.
You are not prepared!
We cut to black, before returning to see the familiar image from Warcraft, the skull of Gul'dan, being held by the mighty Illidan Stormrage. He stands and spreads his wings as he stands atop the Black Temple in Shadow Moon Valley. Leaping into the air, his eyes and tattoos glow with fell energy, as he pulls out the blades of Azeroth, shouting the all-too-familiar line,
You are not prepared!
The scene cuts to the title, bookended by the "You are not prepared" tagline, as we do in fact prepare for the Burning Crusade. Now, this cinematic was actually going to be one of the final sporadic and non-story driven cinematics, as we will see as we move forward. Does it do a good job getting us invested? Well, I'd say yes. We have a great showing of not just the two new races in action, but also seeing other races like the Troll, which we hadn't seen in the original cinematic. We see new worlds and locations, some almost alien to us, which makes sense since we are journeying to a whole unknown world. Not to mention that this cinematic entirely crafted my style of how and who I play in the game. I'd definitely say it did its job. I was indeed not prepared to be amazed by this cinematic. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of my cinematic breakdown series. If you liked this one, you should go check out the first episode that came out last week. And be ready for another episode coming out next week and the weeks following. Next week is Wrath of the Lich King, and it is by far, as people have labeled, one of the best. So until next time, I am the Faceless One, and I will see you then.